Hey guys. Okay, so I want to take some time to address a topic that I'm very passionate about because I have been here and I have seen so many people that I love deeply and care about deeply be here as well. As a medium and a spiritual coach, I find myself visiting this topic more often than not. A lot of people seeking guidance and advice on the topic of anxiety and fear. In this world that we live in, we've all experienced it. We've all been there. And I think it's great to be able to share empowering information. If what I share can help you guys in one way or another, then I feel like my job is done. So a lot of times when I start to see trends occurring either with myself, my thoughts, or with mankind as a whole, I like to ask my guides to share insight. So first I ask them, in approaching this topic, I ask them to share what is fear versus anxiety. What's the difference? How are they related to each other? And how can we get stuck in them? How can we feel powerless when we're there? And so that's what I want to talk to you guys about. That's what I want to share, hoping that it will help you overcome anxiety and understand what fear actually is. So first of all, understanding the relationship between the two, I think, is key. This is what my guides shared with me. Anxiety is belief in your fears. Fear, having a fear of something is resisting it and rendering yourself powerless to it, whether it's a person, a place, an event, no matter what it is. When you have fear about something, it's because you're resisting your greatness in it. You're resisting yourself there. You're resisting it altogether. When you begin to believe your powerlessness in that, you begin to believe in your fears, that's when anxiety ensues. And we all know that can be like a train going nowhere. So I want to take a deeper look at this with you guys to help you guys overcome, fear and anxiety. I've been crippled by anxiety and I've been crippled with fear. But I know now, and I realize the difference is, if we want to shift that altogether, when we feel we're there, sometimes it seems so strong, we can't get out of it. We can't get away from it. And then we become depressed. But in order to actually change that pattern and stop that vibration altogether, it's so important to allow ourselves to approach something differently. If we're approaching something with resistance, that's when fear is born. And then believing in that fear, anxiety is born and ensues. So whatever it is that we feel powerless to, or we've rendered ourselves powerless to, and then we begin resisting it, that's going to get louder and bigger and stronger and more intense until we redesign the connection. Many times I've asked my guides, how come people always say, you have to let go? What does that mean? And how come why is it that nobody can seem to achieve that ability to just let go of something? It doesn't seem that simple, does it? Well, my guides shared that it's not about us letting go. It's really about us redesigning the way we're connected to something. So if it is resistance to something, if we feel fearful, we feel not good enough, whatever it is, that resistance we're resisting our greatest self, we're resisting love in a situation, or even presence with something or someone. When we start to get into that pattern, in that mode of resistance, that's when fear is born. So instead of resisting first, then we begin to accept. We begin to accept and take a new approach of courage and power. When you allow yourself to be courageous and strong in your approach, that will shift everything on a dime, I promise you. When you stop resisting, start accepting, and approach something with power, you really begin to declare the type of connection you have to it. Again, whether it's a person, a job, anything, it could be anything. It's up to you to design the type of connection you have to it. If you've rendered yourself powerless to it, that it has a hold on you, it will be impossible to let go until You realize your ability to redesign the connection to it, design it with courage, redefine it with love, power, compassion, whatever it might be. These are all of the things that disarm anxiety. These are all of the things that disarm fear and the feeling of powerlessness. So I encourage you guys to take a look at the different areas of your life that seem to be triggers for fear and anxiety. And instead of, it's very easy to get fearful when that trigger comes about, or it's very easy for anxiety to grab a hold of you when you begin believing in your fears. Instead of falling to that, pause for just a moment and decide to be courageous, decide to be powerful in the way you approach something. Basically declare your power before visiting whatever it is that seems to pull you into your smaller self. When you do this, again, you redesign the connection and then it releases its grip on you. It's not about you letting go or you having the capacity to let go of something. Once you've connected with something or someone, it's there. The connection is immortal. Now it's just up to you to design the type of connection that's going to be there. You can let it be in the heart or you can let it be in the head. It's up to you. The heart is where you will find inspiration, enlightenment, expansion, all of the things that feel good. In the head, most of the time, is experience of the ego. All of the things that make you feel small and mortal and limited. So take a deep look at your fear, what you allow to trigger the feeling of fear, and then how intimately you're related to that fear with your beliefs. If you believe in your fear, anxiety is sure to follow. So I encourage you guys to pause and look at where you're used to reacting, where you know there's different areas of your life that anxiety is present. Redesign your relationship with that thing that seems to trigger anxiety or fear. Redesign your relationship so that it doesn't have that hold on you anymore. It's you deciding to stay in the heart, deciding to stay in love and compassion regardless. It's unwavering, unconditional love and compassion. Those are the things that disarm fear and anxiety. I encourage all of you guys to practice this and practice this. It takes time. It takes diligence, but it's possible. I myself have been crippled with fear and anxiety, and I've also been able to pull myself out of fear and anxiety. So I know you can too. It's literally just shifting and being responsible, taking that responsibility for what you're thinking and what you're believing in for yourself. So I hope that for you guys, this video helps you to see the intimacy between anxiety and fear. And if you allow yourself the power to redefine and redesign the connections, fear and anxiety will automatically dissolve. When you decide to be powerful, when you decide to be courageous in the very things that trigger fear or hopelessness, insecurities, you're redesigning the connection. You're declaring your power in something. You're expanding through it. I also want to visit the idea, because it kind of relates, that you truly, I think it's absolutely absurd, it's just my opinion, I think it's absolutely absurd to think and believe that by exploring the darkness or the dark sides of you, you can overcome it. Darkness does not produce light. Bad does not produce good. So if you explore the darkness, you become it. We've all experienced that. If you explore your negative thoughts, you become that even more and more. By exploring it, you amplify it, you magnify it, and you become it. So if you want to overcome your dark sides or your negative thoughts, whatever you want to call it, explore the light, explore love, explore power, explore courage, and you will again shift your relationship altogether with fear and anxiety, and it will no longer have such a strong hold on you. So practice that. Practice knowing if it resonates with you, practice it. If it resonates with you, knowing that, by exploring the darkness, you become it. If that resonates with you, practice exploring the light. What does that mean to you? Happiness and joy, self-love and self-worth. Explore what those things mean take time for them in your daily life, whether it's a hot cup of tea just for yourself to make yourself smile, or a warm hot bath. Make yourself smile by giving yourself love every day, and fear and anxiety will get smaller and smaller and more quiet. So, and eventually it will dissolve. Love disarms fear. Love diminishes anxiety. So I hope this message helps. I hope it shifts your perspective a little bit and enlightens you to an expanded state of awareness, so you know your greatness in all things. Nothing has power over you unless you say so. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful, magnificent night. And if you have topic suggestions, if you have questions or ideas, please send it my way at kimbabcockonline.com. You can find me on Facebook as well, or on Instagram at kim.babcock. So I'll see you guys soon. Love you guys.